Hi, welcome to the 1050 Lawyer. Give me 10 minutes of your time and I'll give you 50 minutes worth of knowledge. Today, I'm going to discuss the fine print and tell you the ways in which you can protect yourself. When people download an app or sign up to social media, they rarely visit the tiny links given above the sign up button to read what is written. These contain the fine print. The fine print is a colloquial term for terms and conditions, terms of service, and terms of use. It can also refer to the privacy policy. In this video, when I say the words fine print, I am talking about all of this. It is important, yet it is universally ignored. So keep watching and I'll teach you how to navigate this. The fine print provides legal protections and manages expectations. It generally contains boilerplate clauses that limit liability, detail dispute resolution mechanisms, and address data use, among other standard provisions. Without it, trade can be hindered, as local customs and various regulations will have to fill in the gaps. Scholars state that legally supplied default rules are more vague and open-ended compared to the mass market fine print. Unfortunately, there are a host of concerns. Privacy clauses can allow the collection of personal information and its sale to advertisers, while mandatory arbitration provisions and class action waivers can restrict your access to a judicial forum. Just see this picture of Spotify's dispute resolution and arbitration clause. Depending on your jurisdiction, it may not be enforceable, but it is still part of a contract you agreed to. Any dispute between you and Spotify will be determined by mandatory binding individual arbitration. Note the lines, there may be more limited discovery than in court. Hardly anyone knows this. Before I mention the safeguards, I want to point out three main issues with the fine print. The first one is that no one reads it. The fine print is known to be lengthy and full of dense legalese. Now, before you question yourself for skipping over it and mechanically agreeing, have a look at the research. TikTok has a minimum joining age of 13, yet its terms and conditions require a reading age of 20 to 21 years old. Also, reading the privacy policy and terms of service of Instagram would take you 1.5 hours. So obviously, when users are unable to read or comprehend, companies benefit. The second issue is that even courts cannot help much. People don't always realize they are legally bound and don't have as many rights as they thought they did. Consumer protection statutes, contract law, and public policy provisions guard against unfair surprise and outrageous or immoral contracts that shock the sensibilities of the court. However, for the most part, the fine print is enforceable if the user was given adequate and prominent notice and actively agreed. Just view the case law. Courts can be sympathetic, but they are firm in stating that the one who assents to a contract should know what they are agreeing to. In terms of legislation, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation is stricter and more helpful as it stipulates that organizations need to use clear and plain language. This can be useful as sometimes the fine print is less legal jargon and more gibberish. At this point, we've spoken of two challenging issues, but according to me, the most complex one is the third issue, which is Take it or leave it. There is no opportunity to negotiate. If you disagree, you're simply denied access. In a 2018 experiment, a fictitious social networking service was created to assess the extent to which individuals ignored the fine print. It was found that 74% used the quick join click wrap option and skipped reading the privacy policy completely. One of the participants gave the reason: regardless of the policy, if a mass majority of my friends and family are on the networking site, I want to be included as well in order to interact with them. This holds true for a majority of us. Now, it may seem like there is no hope, but collective power works. In 2012, Instagram tried to alter its terms of service. Basically, your photos and data could be sold to third parties with no compensation to you. The New York Times put it best: you could star in an advertisement without your knowledge. After tremendous backlash, the objectionable parts were removed. Now, obviously, one can't always depend on others, so here are some proactive steps you can take. Use the search function to check the following: data and privacy, dispute resolution, waivers, and liability limits. Also, look out for auto-renewal clauses, especially if you're providing your card details. Don't get tricked by pre-ticked boxes. Then another thing you can do is rely on ratings and reviews. I find two resources quite useful. The first one is Terms of Service Didn't Read, a non-profit that summarizes the terms of service for popular websites and apps. I've made this table based on their grading system so you can see how it works. So for instance, if a grade of B is assigned, that means it is fair toward the user but could be improved. You can use this to make an informed decision. Then there is the Open Terms Archive, which keeps public records of every version of digital terms of service in a bid to increase accountability. If you have time to delve deeper into this topic, I highly recommend you have a look. A fast-paced environment is no excuse for not being aware. Think of what you're agreeing to and what you're signing away. I hope this video inspires you to take a pause the next time you come across the fine print. Leave a comment if you've made it till here, and remember to see the description box. I've put all the references as well as the resources. I've also linked my Substack where you can read this article in full. It's free to subscribe and new articles come straight to your email inbox. See my defamation video if you haven't already. I explain libel and slander in that. My next YouTube video will be on the 22nd of May, which is next to next Friday, so don't forget to subscribe. If you have any suggestions or if you want any topic explained, just let me know. Thank you so much for watching.